I mean, to date, my bills, I think, they've exceeded $1 million.
For many musicians, even basic health care is out of reach. Now, one group is working to change that.
Sometimes you might not find what you're looking for, but you'll find something else.
Got too much stuff? Don't toss it. This place wants it, and surprisingly, so do many other people.
On average, we see about 3,500 patients over the 4 days.
It shut down during the pandemic, but a free medical, dental, and vision clinic is coming back. These stories and more next on CityStream. Hello, I'm Dennis Bounds, and welcome to CityStream from the Seattle Center, where we are honoring the accomplishments of women. March is Women's History Month, a time to recognize all the contributions made by women. Some examples: local women are leading an effort encouraging people to reuse items rather than throw them away. Another woman is the driving force behind the upcoming Seattle King County Health Clinic. And a group of women broke barriers in the successful fight for equality. Much more on these women just ahead. We begin with an issue that affects everyone: the struggle to find adequate health care. This can be especially difficult for local musicians since many have trouble just making ends meet. But one group is working to change that. Brian Callanan introduces us to a group called SMASH, which is helping musicians in a big way.
Music in Seattle. It's part of our city's soul, its heartbeat. But what if that heart stopped beating?
You're getting teeth.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to remove one, but you're getting it back immediately.
Good.
Today, it's just a trip to the dentist for Lance Mercer.
It's just funny, there's been a discussion there, there's a little bit about what? You're getting new front teeth?
But Mercer, a musician and legendary photographer who captured the meteoric rise of grunge in Seattle in the early 90s, was diagnosed in 2014 with stage 4 lymphoma, a potentially fatal blood cancer.
One of the downsides of being self-employed is not having access to proper health care. You learn pretty quickly that the resources that are available to you are limited. Last year, I just came to terms with the fact that it's part of who I am.
Mercer eventually found the chemo and stem cell treatment he needed, but he wasn't ready for the huge medical expenses that were out there waiting for him.
I ended up in this place where I had major health issues. I mean, to date, my bills, I think, they've exceeded $1 million.
Local fundraisers, the nonprofit Music Cares, and the Affordable Care Act have helped Mercer pay down his debts. But unfortunately, his health problems didn't stop, as some post-chemo symptoms began affecting his teeth and his mental health.
I started getting stressed out and worried, and it took up a whole day. I'm not able to do anything else except focus on what am I going to do to take care of this.
And that's where a group called SMASH takes center stage. Seattle musicians' access to sustainable health care, launched in 2015. Musicians fill out a form, talk to SMASH administrators, and get free help navigating the health system. Based on income qualifications,
Come on, Flash.
they can also get free medical services, like those provided by Lance's dentist, Dr. Chris Rafoth.
There's no tooth there right now. Oh, that's why it feels weird.
Rafoth, a musician himself, grew up in the Seattle music scene of the 90s. And, like many artists, remembers working 2 jobs without medical or dental insurance, simply to get by.
I was just living hour to hour, day to day, and just enjoying rehearsal, performance, going to work, paying the rent.
But he started paying it forward after finding a career in dentistry and hearing about SMASH 5 years ago.
Close and squeeze. I need a little bit of pressure there.
Now he and a growing group of other doctors across Western Washington donate their services to SMASH, with SMASH paying for costs like supplies or appliances. Rafoth sees it as helping musicians who've helped him and his colleagues beyond measure.
We're getting therapy from our artists as well as giving that therapy to them. I'm just providing that added bit of stability to allow them to free themselves of the stress or the drag that comes with the struggle of not having the chance to be as healthy as they can be.
We do fund services. We pay for services. We have amazing providers that donate services.
Rafeth and thousands of other screaming fans show their support each year at a star-studded benefit concert where Smash co-founder Ian Moore
fantastic band.
isn't just reaching out to donors, but to fellow musicians who've put their art first and their health second.
I'll drive through a friggin' blizzard with, like, you know, I could have an arm missing. I mean, I think I could play with one arm. I don't, you know, I hate canceling.
A focus on improving self-care led Smash to launch a mental health campaign in April of 2020 on KISW radio. Music industry studies say half of musicians report dealing with depression, compared to less than 25% of people like you and me out there in the audience.
Anybody that thinks they don't need a therapist just hasn't been to the therapist yet.
Smash helps find therapy for musicians, or subsidizes payments to therapists they already have, and even helps them connect with telehealth therapy providers to break down any barriers to treatment.
And I think that's the first thing, is taking the stigma out of saying, I need help.
And that help is literally a lifesaver for musicians all around Seattle. Research shows the average musician has a lifespan that's 25 years shorter than the average person's. 25 years. Just imagine how much music we're not hearing.
If I could show you how many benefits I played for people that had preventable cancer, heart attacks, because they didn't have the health care they needed, and so they didn't get the care, and 20 years down the road, you have a major, you know, health care. We don't need to have that stuff happen.
And helping musicians pay for health care is a boost for the health of the entire music scene. Just ask Mike McCready. He played the 2022 Smash benefit, but he's rocked the Moore Theater for decades, even before he was lead guitarist for Pearl Jam.
Certainly I've had a lot of success, and I'm very lucky and grateful for that. I mean, the first time I played at the Moore was 1983, so I've been in a metal band called Shadow, and so I've been in Seattle since I was 4.
What he's noticed over the years? The rising overall cost of living in Seattle, including medical care.
Unfortunately, you know, with inflation and how much it is to live here, a lot of musicians, a lot of artists have had to move away, you know, down to Portland or wherever, and that's sad because it used to not be that way.
That resonates with Death Cab for Cuties' Ben Gibbard, who shares McCready's concerns about the future of arts and culture in the Seattle area. Reports from King County show a third of people working in the arts are considering leaving it behind.
You know, the 90s were great. I love the 90s. I lived through them. But I don't want that to be the end of the story for Seattle music.
For him, Smash is a shot in the arm for Seattle musicians and the industry they're a part of, for artists of this era and for many years to come.
If we want to still have a music scene, if we want to have a thriving music scene, we have to kind of cultivate young artists now and not just sit on our laurels and talk about the good old days.
Smash is celebrating those good old days.
Is that okay right there, Lance?
And working to ensure the beat goes on.
Not too perfect, right?
That's amazing.
It's something to smile about for artists like Lance Mercer, whose life and life's work, thanks to Smash, have plenty of encores still to come.
It's more than just having a doctor. To me, Smash has meant that I can be comfortable and that I can know that if anything happens, that I have support.
If you'd like to learn more about the services offered by SMASH, which stands for Seattle Musicians Access to Sustainable Healthcare, check out their website, smashseattle.org. And for anyone in need of medical, dental, or vision care, a free clinic is returning. Details as CityStream continues. CityStream returns from Seattle Center, where 6 weeks from now, thousands of people will gather to receive free medical, dental, and vision services. It's all part of the Seattle King County Clinic, which spans 4 days, from April 27th to the 30th. Recently, the world observed International Women's Day. This year, the theme is Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality. And one woman who embraces the essence of that theme is the person who organizes this massive health clinic each year. With us now is a project director, Julia Colson. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Julia, the pandemic put a lot of things on hold over the past couple of years, but it's back. The full clinic is back at the end of April. Remind us what's being offered.
We are so excited to be back after a 3-year pandemic hiatus. In broad strokes, we offer free dental, vision, and medical care to people that are in need. We also provide social services to help patients find resources in the community that can help to support their continued care.
A lot of specialists there. We're not talking about just a cursory visit with a doctor, but something fuller.
Correct. We have quite extensive opportunities available. So in dental care, we have cleanings, fillings, and extractions depending on what the patient needs. In medical care, we've got so many different types of service areas, especially including some of the diagnostic imaging. We've got laboratory services. We even have chiropractic and acupuncture care for patients to be able to see. And then in vision, we offer complete dilated eye exams as well as new prescription eyeglasses for people that need them.
So if a patient has a problem, they're going to find someone to help them.
Absolutely.
At the clinic. Do you have to be a resident of Seattle or King County?
And that's one of the misnomers of our name. No, you do not have to be a resident of Seattle or King County. The only requirement is that you get yourself here and get in line to get a free ticket.
Usually when you go to a doctor or a dentist or the eye doctor, you have to worry about that little thing called a copay. What about at the clinic?
Correct. All clinic services on site are free.
No payment whatsoever?
No payment whatsoever. We don't ask for any information about income. We don't ask for any information about health insurance or not. We just have you show up, and if you have a need, we're going to try to fill it.
The professionals, the doctors and the dentists and the eye care people and the interpreters, they all are providing services. And you have general volunteers as well, but you still, this is a 4-day clinic, as I understand. You still need help.
Absolutely. So the days that we tend to need help across the board with general support volunteers as well as healthcare professionals tend to be Thursday and Sunday. We tend to see lower volunteer turnout on those, so we'd really love to bolster those days, definitely, to be able to serve the patients. We also have a high demand for dental and vision care, and so trying to get as many professionals from those fields as possible in to be able to support our patients. General support side, we need people to do all sorts of things from escorting to help register patients, but also interpretation. They don't have to be medically certified, but we have usually about 35 to 50 different languages spoken in the clinic. So we need interpreters to help people to navigate the clinic and some of the questions that we ask.
This is a big event. You've held a number of them in the past. Remind us the scale of the event. How many people are actually being served?
Yeah, on average, we see about 3,500 patients over the 4 days.
Finally, if you're out there and you need to avail the services of a good doctor or a good dentist or a good eye care provider, how do they find out about what services are offered and how do they sign up?
Sure. They can go to our website, which is seattlecenter.org/SKC Clinic. And there are flyers there, informational flyers for both patients and volunteers to learn how to participate in whichever way they choose to. But for patients, what they will do is they will come to Fisher Pavilion at Seattle Center on the day of, and they will get in line, and we will start distributing the free tickets for that day at 5:30 a.m. And once there's a limited number of tickets each day, so once those are gone, we'll stop distributing them, and people can come back on another day if they didn't get one the first day.
Julia Colson, who's project director of the clinic, congratulations on clinics past and good luck on the one coming up late next month.
Thank you very much.
Next on CityStream, if you have a bunch of stuff just taking up space, we'll show you how to put it to good use. Saving the planet isn't just for superheroes anymore. We can all play a part. That includes giving odd things that keep accumulating in your home a second chance. One local nonprofit has been helping Seattleites turn trash into treasures for years, and women there are leading the way. As we continue to celebrate the achievements of women, this story is a prime example. It was created by producer Kathy Toohey, photographer-editor Valerie Vaza, and narrator Jenny Cunningham.
Walking into Seattle Recreative Reuse Center is like entering an arts and crafts wonderland. Every nook and cranny is packed with donated materials, just waiting to be transformed.
The mission of Seattle Recreative is to promote creativity, community, and environmental stewardship through creative reuse and arts education.
For 8 years, crafters of all types have flocked to the store, drawn in by the ever-changing inventory, the low prices, and the eco-friendly vibe.
What we really want to do is help keep usable materials out of the landfill and available for the community to use. $524 is your total. We do that by having our retail art thrift store here in Greenwood. We also have a whole arts programming wing where we do after-school arts, we do camps and classes, all of those sorts of things.
Besides the traditional arts and crafts supplies like yarn, fabric, paint,
this is 8 yards of fabric, $3 a yard.
They offer non-traditional art supplies like mattress springs, pill bottles, and whatever this is.
We have a couple of programs for free supplies. One is our free for Black, Indigenous, or artists of color. And then we also do that same type of program for public school teachers, where teachers can come in and shop certain materials for free once a month.
First grade teacher Wynn York Jones uses the program to find supplies for class science projects.
These are going to be amazing.
Look at all these.
How many do you need?
About 200.
The Free for Teachers program is really great. It allows me to come in and get things for my classroom that, I would normally have to pay for myself. So it's amazing.
Local artists come here searching for unusual supplies and inspiration to bring their work to the next level.
A lot of my work is already like mixed media and scrappy, so this is like really convenient for me.
I am making puppets. I have a puppet studio in Georgetown.
I love how it's folded.
I know, gives you an idea, doesn't it?
Frequent shoppers Wendy James and Nicola Beeson are mixed media artists who are always on the hunt for just the right piece to finish a project.
This came from here. This was a rubber stamp that some artist made, donated, and then we find it and we're like, hey, I can put that in something.
I've been coming to Seattle Recreative since at least 2017. Mostly I look for odds and ends and strange antiques or things from another time, just things that inspire me.
Visiting Nicola's art studio, you can't help but be delighted to see where these odds and ends landed.
I picked these up at Seattle Recreative last week. A few different options for an assemblage piece that I'm working on now. And I really thought it needed some sort of beads or something to hang on these cool old hinges.
Everyone, in addition to coming in to shop here, should follow us on Instagram or Facebook, because we often will post the latest things or very popular items or particularly interesting items.
Sometimes you might not find what you're looking for, but you'll find something else. So you always find something. Yeah.
Hi there.
Donations keep things interesting. You never know what might come through the door. Today, it's sewing machines.
So I'm just weighing the donations that just came in. We weigh the donations just because we track how much we divert from the waste stream. An average month is about 4,500 pounds of materials.
That's 54,000 pounds or 27 tons a year for those who are counting. Besides benefiting the environment, creative reuse provides people a unique opportunity to think about things differently.
I might have a cork, but I'm not using it to stop a bottle. I'm using that cork for something else, right? I think kids are really good at looking at a cork and saying, oh, it's a person, it's a rocket ship, or whatever it is. And I think adults are able to do that too. They just, need a little bit more encouragement. One of the things that I love the most is when a customer shopping hears another customer ask a question and then offers their own solution. All these connections help, again, build community and allow people to connect with each other about something they love too, right? Making things. We have great staff. We have amazing volunteers. Here, you want to see a great drawer that a volunteer organized today? We have built something really awesome. And I love that we keep good stuff out of the landfill too. You know, like I like that we do that piece as well.
Okay, you are already thinking about stuff you can donate? It is easy. Head to the website, seattlerecreative.org, and take a look at what they accept, then email them for an appointment. As we honor Women's History Month, meet a brave and determined group who did dangerous duty, same as men. That story as CityStream continues. As we've mentioned, March is Women's History Month, a time to celebrate the accomplishments of women, especially those who have fought for change and embraced equity in the workplace. A group of courageous women at Seattle City Light fit that description to a T. In fact, they broke barriers and proved they could do one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, working on high voltage power lines. Linda Byron shares their inspiring story of will and determination.
All the jobs in the world, it's one of the most dangerous.
I've seen asphalt melt. I've seen wire jump. It could go wrong really, really fast. Through that tiny, itty-bitty wire, over 14,000 volts.
Working with electricity is risky enough, but doing it high in the air?
Just make sure you tell your loved ones, I love you every day.
Because it is a hazardous job.
It is.
On a bolt.
It's a job dominated by men.
Keep that leg locked.
Erica Belsby is the sole woman in this group of 10 recently hired for a 4-year training to become journey-level line workers at Seattle City Light.
For me, I'm fine being around the men. I'm just another one of the guys.
Her opportunity is possible because of a few women who broke barriers at City Light 45 years ago. Author Ellie Ballou documents their struggle in High Voltage Women. It was right after the Boeing bust in the early 70s.
In order to get federal dollars for major infrastructure, the city had to meet the minimum affirmative action requirements of the feds, and the feds were finally starting to enforce them. And so that meant this was going to be a poster child program for demonstrating that the city was stepping up.
City Light hired a racially diverse group of 10 women to train for electrical careers at the utility.
You have that moxie.
Among them, automotive worker Angel Arrowsmith and laundry worker Megan Cornish, an English Lit grad from Cornell. It's a new day, announced Superintendent Gordon Vickery.
Practicing no discrimination regarding sex, religion, race, or any other factor.
We were entering into a career at City Light, and we could go all the way to the top.
But behind the scenes, Vickery appeared to resent the women, even wanting them to fail, cutting training after a week and sending them into the field unprepared. They were isolated, one woman per crew, but they shared a common experience, unrelenting harassment.
There was a very strong mystique that this was a macho trade, and a lot of people felt threatened by women trying to do it.
The women persevered until 3 months into the program when they were suddenly fired. They sued. It took a year, but they won their jobs back with a pay raise.
We knew it was not going to be easy, but it was an adventure starting.
Looking back, this photo symbolized a naive belief that trouble was behind them.
No, actually, it was really kind of worse until we let them know that, yeah, we did win this job back because we're women. And no, you can't touch us. And we can't be fired.
Too often the women faced male hostility, obscenities and pornography, stony silence, having tools dropped on them, nearly being thrown from a moving truck.
Looking at my body language, I'm kind of slumped and hunched shoulders. It was a stressful time.
The darkest moment came when a 21-year-old trainee, pressured by the men to work faster, fell and broke her back. 2 years later, Heidi Durham was back on the job.
They wanted to give her a secretary's job after all that. And she said, oh no, I'm going to be in the electrical trade.
They found allies.
And in particular, the black men tended to be the ones who gave a lot of support to people, gave training, gave undercover support.
Of the 10 trainees, 8 would go on to have long careers at City Light.
And we were proud to be able to have been given the chance to prove ourselves. And we did. We did it real good.
Coming on the high side.
They stand as heroes to the high-voltage women of today.
I'm just so proud of them that they made it, and that they kept going through the tough times, because it opened up doors for people like myself.
Sherry Ryder and Shannon Fitch describe a vastly different relationship with their male counterparts.
It's like having a whole bunch of brothers that look out for you.
Still, the number of women working in the electrical trades at City Light is very small. And as recently as last year, sexual harassment complaints made headlines. In response, the mayor hired a woman to lead the utility.
I want to welcome our next CEO of City Light, Deborah Smith.
She wants a place where we can actually do good work for the people of Seattle without being distracted by internal stuff.
And that means fixing the workplace culture and increasing equity.
It's the right thing to do. It's the right time to do it. It's right for women. And I think it improves the quality of work life for everybody.
I hope that she really stands up for the women, not just because she is a woman. If she does right by her job title, she will bring a lot of changes.
If the message was that biased behavior is not going to be allowed, it wouldn't be there. Simple as that. These policies are made from the top.
It's important for the Erica Belsbys of City Light. Being the only woman on a crew is lonely. And when doing one of the world's most dangerous jobs, teamwork can determine whether you go home at the end of the day.
Today, the City of Seattle has an Office of Employee Ombud. The office gives city employees a confidential way to report workplace concerns such as harassment and discrimination. We'll be right back. And that wraps up this episode of CityStream, the Seattle Center, where the Seattle King County Free Clinic returns in April. If you'd like more information about this free medical, dental, and vision clinic, go to seattlecenter.org/SKC Clinic. I'm Dennis Pounds. Thanks for watching.